Hey everybody, this is the recap from Washington, D.C. over the last couple of weeks. I'm going to start out with the end of November. The biggest ticket item was the CR, or the continuing resolution. So if you don't know what that is, we fund the government. The fiscal year ends at the end of September, and if it isn't funded, we must find some way to continue doing that, or there's a shutdown, and that typically is a continuing resolution. Now, apparently somebody in the House or the Senate didn't see the end of September coming. They weren't prepared. We didn't have the spending package done. So we passed a CR then to take us right before Thanksgiving. And the reason we did that is because members are inclined to vote for almost anything right before the holiday because they want to get home to see their family on the holiday. Regardless, it was too much spending. It is too much spending. We continue to spend more than we take in every year, and I voted against it. So we came to, of course, the right before Thanksgiving. We didn't have the budget and the funding package worked out once again. And so we passed another CR to take us right before Christmas for the same reasons I already mentioned. That's what we just did. It passed. So we're going to continue to spend more than we take in, and I voted opposed to it. There's just no reason that we're not balancing the budget or dealing with our fiscal situation while we're focused on other things in Washington, and we'll talk about that as well. We also voted on two bills, the Amend Hong Kong Policy Act and the Prohibit the Commercial Export of Covered Munitions items to the Hong Kong Police Forces Act. We want to stand in solidarity, and I want to stand in solidarity with the citizens of Hong Kong and against the Chinese government. We certainly don't want them using American-made munitions to persecute their innocent citizens. And so I voted in favor of those two bills. And finally, the Prohibit the Sale of Shark Fins Act, which, if you don't know it, people catch sharks, they cut their fins off while the shark is still alive, and then they throw the shark back in the water. It's barbaric, it's unnecessary. China uses the fins for myriad purpose, whether it's restaurants, whether it's elixirs, we grind it into powder, whether it's aphrodisiacs. It's just unnecessary, it's cruel, and so I voted for that. There's just no reason for that. So moving on to just last week, we did the Traced Act, which is if you're receiving robocalls on your phone and spam phone calls, this is a way that we're going to empower the person that has the phone to fight back against these unwanted robocalls and spam calls on your cell phone. Also, the Uyghur Act, the Chinese are persecuting their Uyghur Muslim population. They're literally, as far as we know, putting them in essentially concentration camps. And we're calling China out on their human rights abuses and making sure that they know that we will not accept it. And so I voted in favor of those as well. Also, the Insider Trading Prohibition Act. You can't use privileged information to make money off of people that are in the market as well at the same time. And so I voted in favor of that. I'll tell you, we had another bill regarding the two-state solution for Israel and Palestine over that dispute. And it essentially said that we should enforce the two-state solution. I will tell you, I voted against that for a couple reasons. First of all, it's bad timing. While rockets are flying into Israel and they're under attack on a regular basis, as well, it's just not the United States' business to tell Israel and the Palestinian people how they should solve their problem. That's their business, and we can be supportive of anything that's peaceful, but we wouldn't like it if they were telling us how to solve our problems, and we shouldn't be telling them how to solve their problems as well. We also did House Resolution 546, where Congress disapproves of adding Russia to the G7. I want everybody to be clear about this. I'm not a fan of Russia. To me, they're a totalitarian government, and I've been outspoken about this literally forever, my whole life. And but this is a political move. Russia has stated they do not want to be part of the G7 or G8, and this was just strictly a slam against the president while the president was at the NATO summit. It's just unnecessary and provocative and doesn't help anything. Also, H.R. 4, the Voting Rights Advancement Act. It doesn't advance the right of the rights of voters. What it does is it countermands a Supreme Court decision which says original portions of the Voting Rights Act were unconstitutional, and it gives your local elections to the federal government to handle. That's the last thing that I think we want to see, is the federal government handle the elections. As well, throughout this last 2 weeks, you know that we've been working very diligently in the House of Representatives on impeachment. Just this week, the Judiciary Committee received the report from the Intel Committee and had a hearing on it with 4 constitutional scholars. Maybe you saw that, maybe you didn't. It was, to me, very apparent that the constitutional scholars had their opinion long on impeachment of this president in particular, long before they came to the hearing as well. The majority of Democrats on the committee voted for impeachment multiple times before they ever got any of this evidence. As a matter of fact, multiple times before these impeachment proceedings even started. So to me, it is absolutely completely one-sided. The president has no input, no counsel present. Republicans are not allowed to call witnesses. The defense isn't allowed to call witnesses. We are barred from asking certain questions and getting certain answers. If we want to get to the whole truth, let's get to the whole truth. But this is time. This is based on time, not based on the facts and not based on truth. This is a schedule. They want to get it done. And to me, justice doesn't have a schedule. When you get all the facts, then you make it a determination. So this is all leading up to potential articles of impeachment being drafted by the Judiciary Committee, and we should see that next week. I suspect, based on the information I have. Of course, I don't know for sure, so we'll have to just wait and see, but I just want to let you know that all the other things that you're concerned about, whether it's new highway miles on 83 or 81, 15, 322, if you're sitting in traffic, we're not working on the transportation bill. If you're paying more for your insulin or just prescription drug prices in general, we are not working on that. If you're waiting for the USMCA to get passed because you want to see America sell more milk and dairy products into Canada, or have Canada quit dumping so much low-cost lumber in America, none of those things are. The USMCA is not on the schedule because we are dealing with and completely focused on impeachment. So I suspect next week will be more of the same. And after we get through that, I'll be happy to give you an update. In the meantime, I hope you are safe and that you're having a wonderful holiday season. God bless you.